Hi, and welcome to our Counseling Across the Lifespan course. Some might call this Human Growth and Development, but we thought that we'd go with the Counseling Across the Lifespan title. I know that some of you who have taken psychology courses in undergrad may have had a similar course such as this. So I'm hoping that this won't all be review for you. I am trying to plan a lot of uh, journal articles and readings and class experiences that will add some depth to this and bring it to the graduate level. So hopefully a lot of things will be new and there will be some added depth for you if you've had a class like this before. This very first uh, class, we went over the syllabus and I posted a video, and I'd like to begin uh, this lecture with a suggestion for a personal exercise. And what I'd like you to try to do is uh, relax, maybe take some deep breaths, do a little muscle relaxation, calm your mind, and um, get a piece of paper and any type of writing instrument that you like. And I want you to think about um, basically how you came to be here right now in this class. All of the things in your life that led to this point in your life. Now, I know that you're all different ages. You've had all different experiences. Some of you are younger, some of you are older, and that's fine. This is about you. And what I'd like you to do is draw something that represents your personal growth and development. The good things, the successes, the accomplishments, but also the bad things, the setbacks, the heartaches, the losses, the disappointments, the failures, everything that you can think of that impacted you positively or negatively. Could have been something like a move, graduation, not a graduation, whatever it might be, relationships, relationships that ended, relationships that continued, children, whatever it might be, um, you know, positive and negative. And I want you to think about how you would represent that in a meaningful way. Now, I know it's easy just to write down things chronologically, but I've had students represent their life journey uh, as a map, as a tree, uh, you can use anything you want, any metaphorical representation. Um, and then uh, I'm not sure if you can post a picture of it in a discussion board or not. If you can and you feel like it, go ahead. But I'd also like you to include at least a description of it. What did you include on that map? And of course, you don't have to share anything you don't feel comfortable sharing. But take a few minutes after this lecture and uh, and think about that. And think about it cognitively and emotionally. Think about the different areas of your life, the different domains, academic, career, all of the different types of relationships, your family of origin, your peers and friends, your, uh, you know, people in your work environments, um, significant others, kids or not kids, whatever it might be. Um, Physical things. Maybe you were in an accident or have a disability. How did that affect you? Maybe you were in sports. How did that affect you? think about all of these different influences on your life. Maybe you were born with special talents. Maybe you were born with special struggles. Um, you know, so this is kind of the opening activity that I do with this class every time I teach it. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about um, was that I have not taught this class in many years. Other professors have taught it. Jeff Samid taught it years ago, and now new professors are teaching it. But I'm teaching it this summer, and I did not want to change a lot about this class. So I did not choose the books or the exercises, but I think they're worthwhile. Um, and make sure to watch the explanation, the video of the of D2L and of the syllabus and of the discussion posts. I go into a lot more detail talking about those things. Sometimes it helps, uh, just listening to a description of those things and the expectations. Um, I'm going to try to use a lot of different learning methods. Um, I know people learn in different ways. Um, Let me talk a little bit about um, history and why we have this course in a counseling degree. So um, the course I teach regularly now is theories. And one of the things we do in theories is uh, as we learn about the um, the various theorists, from Freud to the more modern theorists, we also learn about the history of uh, the profession. And think about it this way. There are uh, a number of different types of theorists. There's the type of theorists that we have in theories class that lead to therapeutic interventions, whether it be Freudian theory or other types of theory. And another group of theorists has a lot to do with um, physical and chemical uh, aspects of our being. So, for instance, what causes Tourette's? What are serotonin levels and dopamine levels, and how do they affect us? And a lot of that comes out of the Paris school, and it goes into kind of the DSM classifications and or the ICD classifications, which is more physical, but the DSM is getting more neurological at this point. So that's another school of theorists. And we're also going to talk about a group of theorists in this class, and they are developmental theorists. And how do we grow and develop from prenatal or birth to death in later years, if that's the case? How do we learn? How do we function cognitively? How do we grow emotionally? How do we make moral and ethical decisions? How do we learn all these things? And so we're also going to follow these individuals, these theorists, chronologically, uh, and we're going to learn about those schools of thought as well. And then you take those three groups of theorists and put them together, and you have a very, what's the word, comprehensive uh, combination of disciplines. And when they're brought together, uh, they really function well uh, all together as part of a comprehensive counseling dynamic. So when we do assessments, uh, sometimes we we do different types of assessments. We do an assessment for a diagnosis. We do an assessment for a treatment plan. We also do a developmental assessment. That's what we'll be doing in this class. And I discussed that when we went over the syllabus in that video. Um, we're also using discussion posts quite a bit because I like talking with students. Um, and I get a lot from that, and I hope you do too. And since we're not face-to-face in class and we're not using Zoom, I think discussion posts is a really nice resource. And we're going to begin next week with our very first theory. So I didn't go into a lot of detail with this specific lecture, but there's a number of different posts. I added up all the hours just for this week to go through all of the posts for this class and all of the readings, and it's a bit of a commitment, so I think we're going to leave that right here, and we'll move forward. We'll catch up a little more with chapter 1, which you should read this week, and we'll move on to chapter 2 next week. All right, have a great first week of class, and hope you enjoy this class as well.